Hello, a very good morning to all of you, and my sincere thanks to Mr. Srishala and Mr. Jay Pandian to giving this opportunity for me to speak on the topic with the data and its acuities in this platform. And also at the same time, I also express my sincere thanks to all the audience which who actually taken their own timings and participating in this event. Uh, yeah, this my presentation actually it is going more or less of academic and research oriented area of study, and in this like I would be talking about the data and its equities under this title. It's about there are certain kind of classifications about the traditional data to understand and the big data, and we'll be able to understand differences of these two data, and then again the big data opportunities and the challenges of this big data, and in 2020 how actually the industries are considering from the past big data buzzword to the present, how actually it is getting transformed and what are their expectations from the industry's perspective. And also there are certain kind of patterns and forecasting techniques in the analytical area, and my like some kind of surveys I've conducted in this. So those results may not be actually going into the depth of the statistical part of that because the time is very constrained in this area. So therefore I would be just showing the slides and then afterwards going for the concluding part. Yeah, well, before going into the discussion, the title, data and its acuities. The reason why actually this title selected, because nowadays the data it is a like a blood, it is lifeblood it is, and the acuities are it is the sharpness or keenness when an observer or the researcher is observing into the data. It actually helps the mindset of the equities to explore the information from the inside of the data. When we look at the data, the general meaning and understanding of the data is it's the arrangements of the objects and the attributes in a rectangular arrays. Objects are the people information, and the attributes are on what parameters that the information is collected or the opinions are collected. These are actually tabulated in the rectangular arrays. Now, when we look at this data just manually, it is really difficult to understand what actually the values are speaking, what kind of relations actually it is giving us. This is really difficult for a manual understanding when we look at it, the data. Even if you take the 10 rows of the data observations also, still difficult what kind of relations are inbuilt within the values of the variables. So that's the reason I just wanted to put a light on understanding these data and the opportunities in the industry, the challenges, and then again how actually it is transforming. The revolution of the data provided space to classify traditional and big data. Opportunities with mounting data have drastically changed in can I these slides are not even controlling is also in controlling is also with you. Okay, right. Okay,
yes, you just tell me which slide you
no
want.
issues, no issues. Opportunities with mounting data have drastically changed in today's business environment. Hence, big data, business analytics undoubtedly has become one of the most sought profession in the contemporary business environment. In this presentation, I'll be speaking the classification between traditional big data and opportunities and challenges of big data, and big data in 2020, how it is actually industry's perspective. Can you shift to the next slide, please? Yeah. Uh, yeah. Okay. The traditional data is a structured data with rows and columns in a tabular form, generally seen in blanks. banks, hospitals, supply chains, and so on, which is understandable to transform the meaningful information from the data sets. Data presentation is largely the gathering and handling of items of data to harvest meaningful data. In this wisdom, it can be measured a subset of information processing the change of information in any means detectable by an observer. A data structural classifies data essentials and regiments in what way the data rudiments relate to one another. Since data captures real life individuals, places, and things, and the measures about them, the data pattern signifies representativeness. For instance, a home has several frames or a cat has two eyes. Hence, data pattern is an essential customary to make sure exact communication between human beings. Can we go to the next slide, please? Yeah, one more click, please. Yeah. Big data is a wide-ranging buzz for data structures. So big are composite that conventional data dispensation applicabilities are insufficient. Challenges are searching the data and its insights, data organizing, data integrating, capture, distribution, recording, and storage, analysis, visualization, transfer, and confidentiality of information or data. Accurateness in big data lead to more assured decisions and improved results, can mean better effective and efficiency, cost drop, and average risk. Results of the big data analysis shall explore the new relations to plug business models of the business world to sustain and face the cutthroat competition. Clinical data is providing extensive information which helps in preventing diseases, data from sensors, cameras, and from many sources helps to reduce the criminal rate in the society. The way data is captured from different sources like mobile devices, YouTube, Facebook, social media, Twitter, Instagram, and many has roughly doubling every 24 months. That means for the 2 years in the past 4 decades. By 2020, that means in this year, there will be a 44 zettabytes of data is created. The challenges for large enterprises is how to use this huge data, how to store and how to own this data initiative that span the entire organization. If you look at it, this data creation right from 1986 until now, in the 1980s to 90, analog data were actually more in use than the digital data. This analog data, slowly, the usage of the analog data by 2002, it is reduced, and in 2002, the digital data is increased, and they actually overlapped at the equal proportion of creation in 2002. And from there, the digital data is actually taken a phase to create more and more digital data. Till 2014, completely more of usage in the digital data. Now we have just now taken the information that 44 zettabytes of data in 2020 it will be created. Such a large data is an opportunity for the business environment in any kind of fields of the business environment. There are certain statistics of mounting data in the year 2018 from the search engines. I could gather it just in two categories. I would like to express it. One is through the internet. 3.7 billion and more humans use internet in 2000, that is, it was in 2018. and social media data for every minute of the day. It is every minute of the day. I repeat the sentence again. Every minute of the day, there are more than 527,000 thousands of 760 hundreds photos shared by Snapchat users. 4 lakhs 146,600 people use YouTube devices. 456,000 tweets in Twitter. 46,740 photos Instagram users post. Such a huge data is actually getting created, which is an opportunity for the business people. Big data storage and analysis is unavoidably special. Personal computer sized data that handles the accessible data. Relational database management systems, RDBMS, and PC statistics, that is personal computer statistics, and visualization suites frequently face trouble with handling the big data. To work as an alternative requires enormously parallel softwares running on tens, hundreds, or even thousands of servers. Big data use varies depending on the abilities of the users and their techniques and tools. Data is so dynamic that the one which is considered highly valuable at present year becomes normal for the next year. Some organizations may trigger a need to reconsider data management options to facing hundreds of gigabytes of data for the first time. For others, it may take tens or hundreds of terabytes before data size becomes a significant consideration. A new set or a class, very importantly, a new set or class of data has started that created the revolution in the last 10 years. Most of that is unstructured data, mounting from mobile usage, videos, sensors, and internet, which is classified as a big data that go beyond the working capacity of traditional database systems. The data is too big, travels too fast, and doesn't fit the edifice of database system. It is the study by in 2015 by C. Subramanian. In our daily life, non-living assets are property, bullion, equity, debt, mutual funds, and etc. In data, the evolving asset class, which is going to be so influential and valuable, that is going to set back every asset class that is listed in the past. The technology revolution has caused insightful consequences. Perhaps the most thoughtful of these is ability to record, to hold and process every facet of our lives, every single thing that is happening to us in our interfaces and in our interactions, coupled with massive computing power that gives us the ability to make connections, figure patterns, trends that we were never been able to do before. The basic premise of the data is a source for tremendous good. If it can be viewed in two spectrums, one is certainly for a public good. Think about several opportunities for governments and nation states to improve a lot and improve the outcomes for the people. Now let us look at that's about the data and how actually it is mounting and how it is the social good for all these reasons. Now let's look at the opportunities of the data. With mounting data have drastically changed in today's business environment. Not too long time, usage of the mail, telephones, and postman. Today we send a written message, drop voice messages, use quick messages, Gmail and emails, connect with headphones, mobile phones, and online video phones like WhatsApp, and of course interact through the internet, where plethora of data and information is redefining the data values. Data can make a big difference. Take healthcare, security, education, emergency response. Data and making those connections changes the possibilities. The notion of the biometrics, notion of facial identity recognition coupled with worldwide databases can completely change the way terrorism, counterfeiting, drugs, criminals can be controlled. A safer world, healthier world at a low price with these opportunities. Redefining has a massive effect on business models and environment. The whole archetype of data is altering the basic rules of data and its context of usage, particularly between business and their customers. In a way, data opportunities are recent past business to customer, business to business have been substituted by more robust, multi-dimensional effective models. And let's look at the challenges. Challenges, the big data is a buzzword and big data assignments have become part of our regular business. But it is not that easy. But there are enormous challenges that the business leaders are facing. Executive survey conducted in 2017 by New Vantage Big Data Survey stated that less than half of 1,000 business leaders have achieved measurable results from big data projects during the period of 2012 and 2017. It's a clear visibility that success rate of big data projects need to increase by resolving the big data challenges. First-hand challenge that the organizations facing by big data projects are getting stuck at the pilot phase of their big data inventiveness. Evidently, organizations are pebble dashing some major challenges when it comes to implementing their big data strategies. According to IDG Enterprise 2016 data and analytics study, found that 90% of those surveyed conveyed running into challenges related to big data projects. In 2020, organizations will demand business analytics and AI capabilities everywhere. Data and analytics professionals must understand these trends in order to foster innovation, tackle shifting technologies, and create enterprise-grade analytics services. With 2020 in this year, data analytics pioneers are really investigating their present business, the competition, client criticism, and desires, and accelerating innovation trends. They are changing their working business and strategy models accordingly. Now let's look at some of the patterns and forecasts that we can hope to see in 2020 and so on. One of the pattern is used most extensively is augmented analysis. That is the combination of machine learning. Previous slide only. Jay sir, still the previous slide. Yeah. Augmented analysis is the combination of machine learning and artificial intelligence. Is actually more extensively going to use in 2020 and so on. So one more pattern which is used in the analytics era is data analysis automation. In 2020, 40% of database tasks are automated. And augmented data management. This is by 2022, 45% of the manual data management likely to be diminished. That means everything is getting into the augmented data management systems. Next, like that, there are certain kind of patterns which are continuous intelligence, Internet of Things, explainable AI, and so on. Business operations and models are dynamically changing due to data-driven decisions are more effective and efficient than human-generated decisions. Since the decision dependency platforms are shifting, it is essential to know better about aftermath of applications. Possibilities of aftermath of any application in general can be looked at issues, trends, challenges, and opportunities. This presentation is focused more on the opportunities and challenges. Now let's look at the so can we go to the next slide? Literatures. Yeah, please. See, these are the literatures which actually have collected the information, traditional business data and so on. So business intelligence and analytics from big data to big impact, big data and its impact on future smart cities, benchmarking and address the wicked problems of the big data, effect of big data on supply chain, big data opportunities for global infectious disease surveillance, online data sources. These are actually available in the database systems. And from these literatures, the information is actually got collected. Can we go for the next slide, sir? In this, the variables like what actually conducted a survey to collect the opinions by the IT people and the people who are actually working with the analytics background. And in total, 21 variables are identified for selecting the option of opinions from the respondents, of which 7 are based on demographic and 14 are based on challenges and opportunities. Among the 21, 11 showed a sampling adequacy under the Kaiser and Meyer KMO and Bartlett's Sphericity test, apart from 7 demographic variables. 158 responses have been collected to find the opinions of the responses on challenges and opportunities of big data and business analytics. The respondents are working professionals in IT and the academic areas and the industry area people. The objectives are to conduct this survey is to identify the relationship between the opportunities and challenges of the big data, and to construct the relationship among the information collected in the form of variables associated with the social good, decision making, and availability of data with opportunities. Can we go for the next slide, sir? Data analysis part, this is the results from the SPSS output. I've used the SPSS 24 version. KMO Bartlett's test is actually given the sample adequacy test, and the factor analysis is used. From there, the factors are extracted and then built from the structural equation modeling, certain kind of regression equations. This is, I just wanted to, I don't want to go into a depth of all this information, but these are the tables which are actually coming output of the SPSS. Can we go for the next slide, sir? Yeah, finally, I just want what actually I got it from the information is this is from the statistical inferences, it can be understood that there are more opportunities in the form of business decision based on big data to sustain in the present business dynamics. It is only one of the way that all business operations need to be embedded with the big data applications for their day-to-day work. At the same time, the challenges with big data like owning is the biggest challenge, and complexity of this data is also a big challenge. This is the actually conclusion from my studies. I from this slide, I would like to end my presentation. Thank you very much.